This is a Headgum podcast.
Extra. Here we go.
We have Leila Noone coming on to our show today, and I'm so excited to talk to her. She has set a record that everybody's talking about, where she hung from her hair for a little over 23 minutes.
And it's called hair hanging.
Yeah.
It's called hair hanging.
I think it was 25 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was looking at my nails just now, and yet again, they're just chipped down to the wick. I have such weak
Kristen.
Sorry to
keratin.
hear that.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
I had a vision of me hanging from my hair.
Yeah.
And just hearing a snap of the hair.
Oh,
just
God.
cut in half, and me
Could
just
you
falling.
imagine?
Chill.
Horrible. And my hair is leaving this earth, and I couldn't.
Mine's left.
I couldn't. It was too precious to me to risk in that kind of a scenario. But she did it, and
What if I offered you
okay.
You guys sound
$15
drunk.
million to hang from what's left of your hair?
I'll be there. I'll be there. I would have done it for half.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have any of that money.
But I'm excited to hear, the hows and the whats and the whys of hair hanging. I know there's a hoop involved. So the hoop is in the hair. But what's, I think, the most important ingredient, and Tony, you feel free to disagree, what's inside the head?
What's inside?
What's
there's
under the hair?
What's
brain.
under the hair? Yeah.
Or the
Why
skull?
was
There's gotta-
that directed at Tony so specifically?
I don't
can't
know.
tell if that was an
I don't
insult.
know.
Any mental question he's going to direct to me.
Why?
Well, I think you know.
Okay, I'll do it again. And I think what's more important than the hair, and Kristen and Tony, I think you guys might agree with me, is what's under the hair.
What's under the hair?
I
Is the
think
mind
it's-
control.
Yeah,
You know what's under the hair? The heart.
yeah. Ultimately inside your head
Is your
Yeah.
heart.
is your heart.
Is your heart.
You know,
It's your heart.
what's inside of all of our skulls is our hearts.
It's the heart. And
Yeah.
moving on.
Anyways, we're gonna talk her.
Again, Kristen.
You're doing
We're
great.
gonna talk to her. Let's talk to her.
Let's
She's
talk to her
waiting.
right
Let's
now.
talk to her. Yeah.
Let's talk to her. Do you guys want to talk to her?
I would
Let's
love
talk to
to. Leila, are you there?
Well, welcome to the Extraordinarians. Thank you for coming on. We think you're extraordinary.
Thank
We
you.
know that.
Yeah.
Leila Noone,
Yeah.
you broke a Guinness World Record for hair hanging.
Correct.
And
And we saw it.
we saw
We
it.
saw it.
How long did you hang what was the record, and how long did you go? What was,
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hung for 25 minutes and 11 seconds.
wow.
That is amazing.
Oh my god.
And the previous time was 23 minutes and 19 seconds.
Was that
Wow.
yours too? Was that your record or someone else's?
That was not my record. That
Okay.
was a man whose name I cannot pronounce. And he
Okay.
broke that record in Australia.
Wow.
Okay.
Um,
So if you and him got in a bar fight and you pulled each other's hair, it'd be like, what? What?
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't hurt.
You do better.
Yeah.
Well, tell us a little bit about your journey to
Oh yeah.
that moment. We've
Yeah.
looked up your past a little bit, and it seems like another skill in your arsenal is
A huge skill.
being a contortionist, right? I mean, you have you can shoot
You have a whole
arrows.
a whole stage performance. I want to ask you who writes your banter.
Yes. Well, go ahead. Why don't you ask her?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I was just waiting my turn to talk.
I grant you that turn at this time.
Leila, who writes your banter?
Yeah.
Do you need a job?
I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's something I really have a good time doing is writing our banter with my partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us a taste of some of the banter. There's some puns involved. What's a sort of a favorite little snippet that you could break off?
Oh geez, let's see. What can I say? Is this how what's this rated?
I think only my Pam Shaw listens to the podcast, as far as I know.
No.
She's 70 something. So
Okay, well, let's see. Well, I do a lot of bendy things in the show. So one thing I do is put my head in between my legs and stare at my butt.
yeah.
And but before I do that, I say I'm a psychic contortionist. I could see my own end.
I get it.
Nice.
That's not
Pretty good.
dirty.
That wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
She was
I
picking-
kept it PG.
Yeah.
Wait, so how long have you been doing this?
I've been hair hanging for 3 years. I've been doing circus for about 10 years.
Wow.
Okay.
And so did you see somebody, the hair hanging, did you see somebody doing that and you're like, oh, I want to try it? And then just, is it like a strength building with your, can you break down the process of how that works?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I started hair hanging 3 years ago. And before that, I had seen hair hangers in shows. And I just thought it was the most mesmerizing art form I had ever seen.
Wow.
You're just like an angel floating by your hair, and your entire body is just up there dangling in space.
Oh, I just
Wow.
got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just had to learn. So
Yeah.
I went in search of a teacher. And at that time, there were very few teachers who were willing to teach anybody. It was kind of a secret knowledge to learn the knot.
Oh.
So I had to spend a lot of time trying to find someone who deemed me worthy to learn.
Yeah,
Oh,
sure,
so
sure,
it's
sure.
a knot you put in your hair that will keep you from getting hurt?
Yep, it's a ponytail and a knot and braids, and you braid a rope into your hair, and then you wrap the whole thing up, and you put a metal ring on, and you're just like a little Teletubby.
Wow.
Does it hurt?
Yeah, does it?
It's a good question. The short answer is yes, but the longer answer is it's really mental. So
That's what we're getting on this show.
yeah, so I do a lot of visualization and meditation and mantras, just to put myself in the right mind space, and it makes it less painful.
Yeah.
So when you when the record stopped and you're like, I've had enough, was the pain just it hit a place where it was like, I'm done? Was that how it happened?
Yeah. Good question. So when I started with a spin, which made it a lot less painful, because when you're in motion, the energy kind of shoots out and you can sustain it for longer. But then about 5 minutes into the record, I stopped spinning and I was just hanging there completely still. And that's when you're very aware of how painful it is.
Yeah.
Because you're doing a lot of sort of dancing and moving while you're suspended by your hair, and it looks cool, but is that also a strategy to sort of get yourself in the right headspace?
But also keep the energy flowing, I guess?
Yeah, so when I'm doing an act, it's usually only 3 minutes long, and I come up and down. So the most I'm up in the air is usually about like 30 seconds. And I'm always in motion, dancing or doing some sort of character work, or playing with fire or whatever I'm doing up there. But when I did this record, I was completely still. So I had to find a way to basically channel the pain into something else.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
when they let you down, is there a relief in your scalp, or does it continue to hurt for a little while? Or do you get like a head massage? What do you do to treat yourself after you set that record? What was the first thing you did?
I definitely had a moment when I hit the ground and I just felt extremely thankful to be alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just felt very grateful for life and breath and my friends and the trees and the whole experience.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I've never had that feeling. Maybe this is what I need to do to get
That's
there.
what you need to do, Matt.
I don't have the head of hair for it, but
Yeah. I
no, don't agree with that. Be like, yes, you do.
Yeah, that's a good
You
question though.
could
Like,
get
is
there.
just anybody can't do this. Do you have to have a certain strength to your hair quality? Does that have anything
Yeah.
to do with it?
I would say hair is stronger than you think it is. One little strand of hair can hold up a bar of soap, supposedly.
Yeah.
So hair is really strong. And I've seen people do it with short hair. My hair is actually not that long. It's down to my shoulders right now. I've seen people do it with super long hair. I've seen people do it with shaved head.
Wow.
So it's really just, yeah, hair is amazing.
Yeah.
Hair is
Well,
amazing.
this is maybe off topic, but I was a performance studies major in college, and I read about this
We
guy.
know.
Exactly. Here we go again.
There was a guy who took meat hooks and put it through his skin.
Oh no.
All up and
Golly.
down his body, and then hung and kind of like they kind of pulleyed him across like a block in the air, and it looked beautiful. Like when I saw the picture of it, and this was in the 70s, when people were really struggling, but like
This is making. I hate to interrupt, but the way you told that story made it sound like you were in college in the 70s, and that's not accurate.
Oh no, the book was from like I don't remember. The book was about performance artists.
Got it.
Through a couple decades, but and it was printed around the time when people used to read books. I know now we don't read books anymore, but in any case, in the photo was so astonishing, and I felt probably like what you felt like. Oh, you got a book? Whoa! Well, that's your cat sitters. Anyways, I don't know. It was I kind of the human body being manipulated in a way that it's levitating. It is pretty gorgeous, and the guy was fine, and you're fine. So I mean,
is there a community of kind of how do you call yourself? Is it hair hanger? Like, what's the term of?
You can call it hair hanging. You can call it hair suspension.
Okay.
So what you're referring to would be suspension art. And I think it's really beautiful too to see.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Suspended. And I actually have a friend, Lizard Man, Eric, and he has the world record for the most weight hanging from his ears.
Wow.
okay, well,
So,
Kevin,
Yeah.
Need his email.
I know. We gotta
Yeah.
book him next.
Yeah. He's fun. You should. But you're making me think about all the amazing people I have in my life.
Right.
I'm
Yeah.
constantly surrounded by people who are breaking world records and doing
Right.
just jumping off cliffs and highlining circus variety shows. And so I am so grateful to be amongst these people who I'm so inspired by. And these people are my friends.
yeah.
Right.
I love that. And all I have is Matt and Kristen.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, this is
We're
a
pretty
bummer.
neat.
I'll be your friend.
Yeah. Oh, there you
Thank
go.
you. Thank
Watch
you.
out, he's catty.
Wait, so were you a gymnast growing up? Just going back to like the contortionist, did you always were you a gymnast?
Yeah, my brother and I were gymnasts. That was our childhood sport. So we have videos of trampoline shows that we used to make for my mom in the backyard.
Wow.
Yeah, my brother was a Stanford gymnast, so we grew up in a very disciplined household, and gymnastics was just what we did during our entire childhood.
Wow.
And so do you tour the world? Like, would you kind of consider yourself a busker sometimes? Like, do you ever go in the town square and just set up shop?
Yeah, you can call me that. I'm a busker sometimes.
Yeah. I love that life. I mean, it's hard, but it's you're so, again, speaking of being free, you're totally free to go. You're your boss.
Yeah. I try to be as free as possible.
So this community of circus performer, like what would you call is like circus folk? Is that an okay thing to label that community?
Sure. We can be circus folk. Yeah.
What do they all have in common, you think, when you get together with that crew? What is the one you're like, oh, we're all like very accepting, I would imagine, because
like comedians are very pessimistic.
Yeah, exactly. Very catty.
I would say fearlessness,
Yeah.
not afraid to reinvent ourselves.
Yeah.
And instead of shying away from the things that are uncomfortable, we move towards them. So
Yes.
that's what I think I have that in common with a lot of my friends, and just the love of life and gratitude and just the stoke. Just so excited to be alive. Yeah.
Must be nice. Must be nice.
I find it fascinating that you saying that, like, so excited to be alive, just full of life. And like we talked to one guy who slacklined between two hot air balloons, and he had the same kind of adrenaline, just love that. And at the same time, it seems like what I'm observing is so love life, but then putting yourself in a place where that life could be taken away from you in these kind of extreme situations sometimes. So it's, do you know what I'm saying? It's like you're always facing a real danger. It sounds like.
Yeah. I think me and probably the majority of my friends tend to gravitate towards things that will make us feel alive.
Right.
That will force us into that place where we're not comfortable, and we have to find a way to be comfortable. And that's what kind of makes me feel alive.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to remember this when I'm very, very old.
Yeah.
And my whole body hurts all the time.
Yeah.
Be like, mind over matter.
Yeah. But are there things, so much of life, at least mine, is mundane. You have to feed the cat and,
I'm sorry.
You're really painting a sad
picture. How dare you,
Matt?
He's flying back and forth from movie set to movie set. So don't listen to him.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yeah. You don't even have a cat. Like everything you're saying is a lie right now.
A lot of life is doing dishes and, cleaning socks. And when you are in those parts of your life that aren't hair hanging and shooting arrows with your feet,
he had a point.
Is it like so boring to you? And how do you overcome that when you've had such highs of emotion? You're, grateful to touch earth, like how do you struggle with the immense boring parts of life? Like how do you
kind of the ordinary?
Yes.
No, I am so grateful whenever I get to relax and just be in one place for any length of time. And it's funny you mentioned the cats, because I'm actually cat sitting right now, so that's a responsibility that I have. And,
how's it going?
How many
it's
cats?
Great.
How many
They're
cats?
so cute. Tickles over here somewhere.
Tickles.
Yeah. And you mentioned doing the dishes. I did a New Year's Eve show with Vaudeville Society, a circus company out of San Francisco.
Oh, wow.
And we created a room for people to go in, and it was an immersive laundromat. So we had a laundry board, and we were DJing while we were doing the laundry, and we were sweeping, we were dancing. And I think it is just so beautiful when we can bring that into our everyday life and just have fun doing chores, or put on a costume when you do taxes, or just make it fun. And that's what I like to do. I like to celebrate. I like to celebrate life any way I can.
Do you were talking earlier about kind of when you're kind of trying to like make yourself uncomfortable, and then it kind of makes you appreciate. So when you're hanging and you said you hit those places that the pain kicks in, is there like a top two, like what are the top two techniques you go to get to a strong space in your mind?
Gratitude, meditating on gratitude, and just thinking about all the people that I'm grateful for, for my breath, being alive, forgiveness. I think about all the people I wish would forgive me, and I just send love out to them. And I feel lighter. Maybe visualization. So I'll visualize myself happy and pain-free. Those three. Sorry, you asked for two. I gave you three.
No, those are so great. It's so helpful.
And Lil, you were saying that when you saw it for the first time and you pursued it, you were trying to find a teacher, and they were a little hesitant to give away the secrets.
Yeah.
What did you do to convince your teacher to teach you? How'd you wear them down?
I just found a nice person who was willing to
Yeah.
share and just I guess sharing each other's worlds and why we were inspired to do what we do. And that's really what who I want to work with. If I'm going to teach someone, I want to know that you are treating this as a sacred art form, that you want to you want to really invest in it. Those are the kind of people that I want to work with, and I know those are the kind of people that hair hanging instructors want to teach. So,
Has anyone approached you to learn?
Yeah, a few people. I don't do hair hanging lessons, but it's really just because I'm pretty nomadic. I'm always on the go.
Yeah.
Where are you based?
That is a good question. Right now, I am based in Los Angeles.
I've heard of it. I just like that there's an ancient secret that only a few people know about how to tie your hair to the ring. I like that there's old wisdom that's kept in the shadows.
In that regard, how far back does it go? Hair hanging? Is it like generations? Like how far?
I think Jesus, one of the disciples,
he wished he
did
could.
It.
It would have saved him some.
Yeah, so from what I've read, it goes back to China, and in 1916 was when Barnum and Bailey had a hair hanger in their show for the first time.
Wow.
But I'm sure it goes back further than that, and even before it was a performance art, it was kind of a meditation, which is something really beautiful to remember and think about.
Hair care. What shampoo? What conditioner?
Exactly. Great question.
Thank you. Talk us through that. On the day of the hang, what's you're washing it? You're not washing it?
Yeah, on the day of the hang, I don't think I washed it. I don't wash my hair too much, maybe 2 or 3 times a week. My favorite shampoo is OGX.
Okay, I don't know.
Write that down. Get him as our sponsor.
I don't know.
We need a sponsor.
Call me. Wait, call me. Yeah, just being gentle, like scalp massages. I take a lot of supplements that are supposedly healthy for my hair: omega-3s, iron, zinc, collagen, biotin.
Okay.
And just being gentle when I'm not in hair hanging, and wetting my hair when I'm going to do a hair hang, because then your hair expands without breaking.
Yes.
You knew that. You're saying yes.
I did know this.
Wow.
I did. I mean, I just intuitively knew it. I didn't know what she was going to say next, but I was like, that makes sense that it would be wet.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hair is a living organism too, like your skin. People forget, like it's alive.
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
Yeah.
No, actually, it's the only dead thing.
Yeah.
That grows out of you, but it's growing.
Wow, that statement just took a real 180. Kudos.
Whiplash.
Yeah. But you were equally confident about both, and I think maybe both are wrong. I don't know.
I think both are wrong.
Do you know, is hair alive or is it dead?
Yeah.
Your thoughts?
Well, hair is growing all the time, so I think it's very much alive.
Okay.
Yeah, hello.
All right.
What's next for you, Leila? Are you going to try to set another record? Like, where are you headed? Are you doing your shows more? Are you adding acts to it?
How can you add more acts? My gosh, you do so much.
Yeah, we're always thinking of, new ways to tell stories.
Yeah.
And, whether it's writing a new bit for my comedy show, or training a new act, or working with a new partner. I'm so blessed to be in the circus world, because we get to just pour all our creative energy into these into all these different worlds.
Yeah.
One thing we didn't touch on much is, so the contortionist, I saw that video as well, and it's absolutely, it looks so painful. Is that as painful as when you get to the end of like a hair hanging, or not? Or is your body just so used to that?
I think hair hanging is probably the most painful thing that I do.
Wow.
And having to hold a pose, like a hand balancing act, or when I shoot my bow and arrow with my feet, having to hold that and do that in front of thousands of people, stillness in front of people is probably the hardest thing that I do.
The stillness, just because of the strength it takes, or because of the focus, or?
when your body is in momentum, when you're in motion, I feel a lot less nervous. I feel like I can maybe fall and recover more easily.
Yeah.
But if I'm just slowly holding space, holding stillness, and then, have to do something as precise as shoot a target with a bow and arrow while I'm holding it with my feet. I mean,
Wow.
that moment just takes all my focus. I have to really channel my breath. I have to relax. It's stillness is definitely the most challenging thing that I do.
Wow.
Have you ever done the bit where you put your feet in front of your face and then just scroll your phone with your feet? Like, wouldn't that be fun?
Are you giving her a bit?
Yeah, that's yours to, that's free. That one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you think the audience
your
wants
banter.
to watch her look at her phone?
I just think it's funny to do, to hear me out, to do like something so mundane, but like in such a crazy, kooky, fun way. I bet it'd get a huge laugh.
Yeah, we did a fun photo shoot with my yoga studio back in Austin, Pure Yoga, Texas, where I was on my laptop and my feet were over my head.
See, that's better.
Fine.
That's better. The typing is better, so that's good.
If someone goes and breaks the hair hanging record, Leila, are you going to challenge it? Or are you going to just let the universe absorb it?
That's a good question. I encourage people to go for it. I'm sure I have friends who could probably break it right now. And in general, I just encourage people to do uncomfortable, hard things.
Yeah.
And I think that's just how we grow as people. I wouldn't have broken this record if someone else didn't push me to break this record.
Yeah.
And I love that I have all these amazing people in my life who can do these amazing things and challenge each other in these ways.
You have
Not
an amazing outlook. Go ahead.
I
Joe.
know. I was about to say,
ever
not
get
only
sad?
yeah, not only
There are people you need to forgive, and I want to get to that, but
but you have amazing gifts, but you also do have such a thankful attitude with gratitude. I mean, that to me is such a strength as well. So
That's a contortion
well
of the mind some days.
That is a up top.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
I like that you consider the people in your life who could break your record as your friends. You might try considering them your enemies. That might help, right?
Wow.
Yeah, might
Bring in that.
add a couple more minutes to the hang.
That is the opposite of a life of gratitude. It's like you might want to consider those close to you enemies.
Yeah.
I need people like you in my life to balance me out.
Yeah, good. I'm always
I know.
here. The dark side,
Well, Leila, thank you so much for joining us. This was
Yeah.
like a real gift, and you're so inspiring. So thank you for sharing all that with us.
Yeah, it's fun to get to talk to someone who does something so interesting because you can see the video or you can come see the show. I love watching people, contortionists and street buskers, and all of them are so dear to me. And I never get to really chat them up. So thank you for spending the time.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram, LeilaNoone. You can find me at LeilaNoone.com.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
Awesome. Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Yes. And don't take my advice. I think you have a very healthy attitude that I should
Don't let
probably
Matt
take
do
a
your
page
banter.
out of your book. But
if I get hurt, or I'm gonna think of you, Leila.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna just think of gratitude after I stub my toe or whatever. I'm gonna get through it.
Yeah. Be grateful for those rocks that tripped you up.
Yeah, I got to an uncomfortable place and it reminded me that I'm alive.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
that's a gift.
Totally.
Oof, that's hard to do.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We're grateful.
That was really fascinating. And the big thing for me was that last part when she's like, it got so painful that she had to stop. And I'm like, it's hard. That just seems, why put yourself through that? But like, it's such a, she when she was talking about like making yourself uncomfortable and then it's such a rush and you find the comfort in it and the meditation in it.
Are we supposed to be doing that? Are we supposed to be like searching out discomfort? Is that what healthy people do?
I mean, I think I'm always finding discomfort in my anxiety.
But we're not. Do you feel like you go out and search for challenging, experiences so that you can, learn more about yourself?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All the time. I mean, I get on airplanes. I make phone calls to strangers.
Okay, just to feel alive, you know?
Matt, I think you do as well, because in this business, it's a very uncertain business. You're constantly putting yourself out there.
Thank you,
that's not the
Tony.
most comfortable.
It's
Yeah.
true. It's true.
But there is something that I found a connection with all of our guests in just the meditation of, again, mind over body. Like
Yeah.
whatever their mind is the most powerful part of their individual selves.
Mm-hmm.
And they prove it over and over again that they can push through any sort of threshold of pain or problem solving or all of it to get where they need to go.
Yeah.
And that's good to learn, because we're all about to just be like kind of brain incubators, right? Where we won't need our bodies anymore anyways.
No,
Is that what I'm
Is
reading?
this a new development?
You
Yeah,
subscriber to Bummer Magazine over there.
They have magazines still?
Yeah. But you want to talk about mind over matter. Kevin and Kristen gave me a beer before
you
this
drink it?
interview. No, but
Yeah, I didn't
you
drink
drink a
mine. I
beer.
did not drink my beer.
There's
have
little
it.
burps that
Okay.
are
Do what?
that are gonna come up.
There's lipstick on it, but it's here, take it.
And
This is sad. There's cleaner beers in the fridge, Kevin. Oh, Kevin.
I was able.
Have a day.
There's Kevin, by the way.
He's having a
Ready to
day.
go.
Oh, Kevin.
No.
We need to come with gifts for Kevin, I think, at night. 'cause
Yeah.
he's
I need
so
to
tired.
seek out discomfort, and I need to bring gifts to Kevin. That's my. But I'll
The goals.
I was really on a riff there, but it was just to say that I suppressed a few little burps during that, and I think that was mind over.
Oh.
I was able to
Wow.
use my mind to control my body, and I'm proud of that.
I do like how she said too that she's like thankful for her breath, like thankful to be alive, and I think that is something that we always take for granted. Like I don't think about my foot until I stub my toe, or like when I broke my hand, I'm like, I want to draw. Like I never wanted to draw as much as when I couldn't.
Right.
And so I think when you keep your body from doing something, being comfortable, it reminds you of all the magnificence of it.
Yeah, that's a good
Perhaps.
point.
That's a good point.
And I want to hang out with circus people. Wouldn't that be
Oh
fun?
my
Be like,
gosh,
oh, these are
they
all my
sound
friends are
amazing.
from the circus. That
Yeah,
would be
I mean, I
cool.
used to kind of hang out with circus people. That's why I
Really?
knew the term busker, and I sort of understood what was going on. I didn't know if you
Why
know
did
this.
we
Yeah,
not-
you were
why have we
you were
not-
leaning into that busker stuff.
I
Yeah.
why you go on these festivals? You do the Edinburgh Festival, you do the Melbourne Festival,
But
you do all these
busking
different shows.
implies you're on the street.
Yeah, that's usually what it means. But it's usually like a circus type act that you can do on the street to impress
I
people,
see.
and then they give you money and like put your body through a tennis racket kind of situation.
Sure.
Or my favorite was my friend at the hot tub show. He did one of the earlier hot tub shows 20 years ago, and his name was Clark, and he would do a juggling act to the song, to Queen songs mostly. And his famous act was Another One Bites the Dust. And he would just juggle to the beat. And then when the chorus came on, he would drop one. And it was so impressive and such a showstopper. You do not want to follow a juggler if you're doing stand-up.
Right. Or
But
if you're a private detective, either one. Pretty good. Keep going. No, you were doing great. I'm sorry.
It
I'm
just
sorry.
doesn't make any sense.
You don't want to. Yeah, you're right. It doesn't. But like follow, like as in trail and surveil, you don't want to follow a juggler.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Sorry about
no,
that.
it's
Look, they're
okay.
not all home runs,
Well,
you know.
that they used to be.
No,
What's
they didn't.
going on?
No, they didn't.
Yes, they
Review the tape. Review the tape.
Any case, I would watch him in London. I'd watch him do it in Australia. Like the act was so solid that he could take it anywhere, and people would lose their minds. And that's
Mm-hmm.
sort of the circus community can do these things over and over again, and survive, make a living, like get shelter, and have a community. So
Yeah.
I think maybe it's changed because since I met some of them.
AI can't juggle.
That's
so
true.
that's some job security.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. See, nailed that one.
So that was very
That's a really cool thing to
chatting
say.
with Leila.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Well
It really
put, Tony.
was cool.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
And that was pretty cool. Thanks, guys.
That was a Headgum podcast.